Tyson, have you guys ever had a season where you've had some pre-season recognition like this year?
I can't remember in a time where I've been here where somebody outwardly said, "Hey, we think this is one of the best teams in America at the level we play at." So that part of it's nice, but there's the other side of that coin, which is handling those expectations, not letting that get to your head. You still have a job to do every single day. So we're trying to keep our focus. Our guys have been really good about it. We don't spend any time talking about it. We're just out trying to work and get better, and we start in 2 days. So, it's going to be our first days outside today and tomorrow, where we can actually get on a turf surface, which is going to be nice for us. But there's a lot of work to be done for sure to stay there. So we haven't spent too much time talking about it.
So you guys haven't changed your approach. I mean, you guys always you're pretty systematic with the way you manage your teams. Nothing's changed in that regard?
No. It's all about the work our guys do. It's all about what they can do together and how we can come together as a team. And, our coaching staff believes that if we put our guys in position to be successful, that these guys are going to carry it forward. And that's the culture that we've instilled here. We talk about that word a lot in our program, but really it's while the coaches have expectations for players, the players have expectations as well. And so that always plays a bigger piece because they're the ones making the plays, hitting the ball, fielding it. They have to be able to withstand the pressure in the game. Sure, we can help. We can try to instill that mentality, that mindset, but they actually have to physically go and do it. So, we're super proud of where we are right now, but we can always get better.
Looking at your roster, it looks like there are a ton of new faces here, and that's really probably nothing new for you guys. But talk a little bit about the makeup of this team.
We do have our fair share of transfers once again. We do have our fair share of new faces, true freshmen that are incoming kids as well. We do have a lot more. Steven, you know this because you remember last year. I think we returned one guy, Danny Splongberg, and he was our right fielder that the year before might have, I don't think hit a home run, maybe one. So, and then last year we were able to do what we were doing with all the new guys that we had last year. So this year we do have a few more guys back than that. But a lot of new faces again, especially on the mound. Some new faces, new first baseman, new look at shortstop, new center fielder transfer, things like that. But a lot of those guys are going to be familiar for our fans. And so I just hope that, in this community, it's a great baseball community. I hope that the people of this community come out and continue to celebrate, watching and enjoying this team play. Because I think as the weather warms up, this team's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. And let's talk about that schedule. I mean, it looks like you're only home for about a dozen times. Is that the way it's been in years past? But I looked at that and I'm like, wow, they're not going to be here much.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the road a lot early because of the weather. As we know, we have a ton of snow sitting on the ground still, even with this nice weather front that we've had come in. We have to do it that way to get games in and to play our full schedule, and that's what kids want to do. But then you have to go find those games that make your schedule challenging as well. And so we feel like we've done that with our schedule. Our conference schedule did reduce, so that's some of the reason that late we don't have, instead of having 34 games in the conference, we only have 28 this year. So we could front load our schedule a little bit. And then all of our midweek games, a lot of times we're playing at home. So that'll be nice. This year, it turns out we only had 3 conference weekends at home instead of 4. We flipped that. So next year we'll have 4 conference home series, which, in the conference, that'll be 4 home series. So that's always nice. But to find our games early, you got to do what you got to do. We were supposed to play at home against Hutch, but it looks like we may end up spending, obviously the 2 on Thursday down there. We might return down there next week if they have good weather and we don't, when we're not ready yet. So it's just kind of the way it shakes out. But early on, you got to play games and get this thing rolling.
Yeah. You and your brother have been the stable on the coaching staff. It looks like you've added a staff member or two for this year.
Yeah, Coach Varley was here last year. Did a fantastic job with our pitchers. He still does a fantastic job with our pitchers this year as well. And we look forward to him doing that long into the future. Coach Divis, Wyatt Divis, joined us this year. He works with our catchers, helps a little bit on the hitting side of things, another mind, another set of eyes. And then, of course, Dad's always there. So, in case one of us – so now there's 5. When we started this thing, it was like 2, and then Dad kind of joined in when one of us got kicked out of the game. So – and then he never gave the pants back. So, not that we want him back because Dad's awesome to have around. It's a really, really cool dynamic. The kids gravitate towards Dad when he's in the dugout. So, that's something we hope is also there for a long time yet to come. But fantastic additions with those 2 guys. Coach Varley's second year. The guys that are here have been here at least for a year now. In their second year, really understand what he wants them to do. He focuses on individual things with each one of those guys, and so it's a really, really positive thing for them to be able to say, "Hey, what's this?" He doesn't try to train this guy the same way as he trains that guy, which is nice. And so it allows Dion and I to kind of move around and focus on some other stuff that we didn't always get to do in the past. So more eyes are good, and we love what our staff is doing right now.
Just finally here, and I know that you and Dion take it hard at the end of the year, and getting over that hump in the postseason. That's always a thing with you guys. I mean, do you focus on that at this point, or are you just day to day here?
I think we just try to tell our guys we want to be consistent every single day with how we approach things. And consistency leads to success, I think. And there's one thing about it. 2 years ago we made our first district at the Division I level. And we got there and we saw it. We were able to see it, and we saw Central Arizona, who ended up winning the national championship at the time. And so we got our eyes open to that a little bit of what that was and kind of what the blueprint for that looked like. And so then in recruiting, we kind of addressed some of those things. We were kind of going out and trying to recruit a little different. And then this last year with the kids that we had, we get to that game to go to the World Series, and we, force that if necessary game, and everybody in our ballpark would have said advantage us, going into that game. And we were just out of gas. But I do believe, as our staff does, that, a lot of times it doesn't go perfectly right away. And so you have to kind of learn in the game a lot through failure. And some of those moments are extremely tough. But, out of that should come a lot of positive things. I look back to, and you were here when we did the D2 thing, the D2 World Series. We got beat twice in the game to go to that World Series before we finally broke through in 2017. And so now, we reached the district, we won a game 2 years ago. Then last year we lost the first game. We won 3 in a row to force the if necessary, and then we couldn't quite get over the hump. And why it was tough, you tip your cap and you say, hey, these guys that we've had in this program have continued to move things forward. And I think every year that's the goal. So now we don't get caught up in, hey, we have to win this much. The number of wins, we don't even look at that. We're kind of looking at, hey, how can we put our guys in position to be successful? And that means getting them opportunities to the next level, making sure that we're doing the right things in the classroom, on the field, in preparation. And after that, until the last out's made, you go compete like crazy. And so how it goes, we're not really all that concerned about. We love our kids. We love our school. We love representing this college. It's home for Dion and I, obviously, which means the world to us. And we're trying to put it on the map. And I think we're getting a little bit closer and closer to doing that at our level. But this year is going to be fun. So I hope everybody buckles up with us, because it's going to be a fun ride.